Hi everyone, it's Don Wiley again. I'm out here at the end of Marsh Bend Trail, as far as you can go. I say as far as you can go because of this little sign I'm walking up on. Please, folks, listen. Do not go trespassing. Don't go beyond the signs, the barricades. It's really not worth it. There's nothing out there really to see at this point. They're mainly moving dirt and getting the grounds prepped for road construction, utility inlay. This is critical to their business and not something we really want to get involved with. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video. We'll take a quick look around before I go. It's beautiful out here. This is the Lowlands Golf Course that you're seeing in the distance. It's supposed to be ready sometime this fall. I've seen a little bit of it from the air. You'll get to see a little bit of it today. It is quite a gorgeous course. Should be fun to play. I can't wait. Something a little different with the map today. The arrow is pointing that the direction the camera is, and it's moving in the direction that the drone is. On the new ball fields, the sprinklers are going in the outfields, watering the grass, and all the bags have been set at the various bases. This is the soccer and multi-purpose field, platform tennis, pickleball courts, basketball court, remote control, car area, cornhole, just about everything here. That's the dock for the remote control boats. Still no water in the pool yet, but I'm sure it's getting close. Here's a front view of the Everglades Recreation Center. This is Magnolia Plaza. They're starting to pave the parking lot. An inside source has told me that Publix will be the supermarket going in here. Of course, they could be wrong, but then they've never let me down yet. We'll take a quick look now at the bridge that's being built to go over the turnpike. Somebody asked me a question earlier this week about the size of it. It's 300 feet, but it looks to be a scaled up version of the one that went over 44 at Brownwood. It's got the same number of sections as that bridge does. We'll take a quick look at the area where the Water Lily Recreation Center is being built. So this is the path I have to take to keep from trespassing. I'm flying along the turnpike right-of-way until I get down to the Hog-Eye Sink. Then I hang a right and go back to where I started. This takes a little bit of coordination with my spotters. You get a little peek of what's going on both sides of the turnpike. This past week has been pretty poor for flying. The winds have been pretty high. At ground level, they've been running 10 to 15 miles an hour, which isn't bad. But at 100 to 200 feet, they're running about 30 to 35 miles an hour. Take a look now at the bridge going in over 44 at the Rohan Rec Center. They've driven all the pilings in. Now it looks like they're pouring the concrete to set the pilings. Across the road, you can see the tower is already built for the other side of the bridge. We'll take a look now at the traffic circle being built at Warm Springs and Morse Boulevard. Not a whole lot has changed, but they are definitely working on the southbound lane now. I record all my drone video in 4K, but I upload to YouTube in 1/4 of that. So there's a thing called digital zoom, and that's what it looks like. This is the village of Chitty Chatty. We'll travel southbound now, looking at the new traffic circle. That's the Grace Tabernacle Church coming up ahead. We'll stop over here and take a look around at the commercial area and the village of Bradford. There we are with the digital zoom again. That's going to be a commercial area, as will this on the left side of Warm Springs Avenue. The turnpike is along the top edge of the screen. This area is where the new championship course is supposed to be. This area is the village of Bradford. It's interesting, they filed for a lot of permits in this area for the various residential communities, so it looks like this is a priority area now. We'll take a trip now around the emergency department that's being built just south of Brownwood. This is definitely moving along faster than the standalone emergency room that's being built up at the Tradewinds development on 466A. We'll take a quick look at the area south of the emergency department that's being built between 44 and the turnpike. Nothing remarkable here, it still just looks like moving dirt to me. We'll look at the 4 new buildings being built in Brownwood. This second building already has the roof going on it, and it's almost complete. This was the first of the 3 buildings on this street that was started, but the one across the street from it that we just looked at seems to be moving a little bit faster. After 5 years of living in the villages, I just now noticed this church in Brownwood. This is the courthouse building. They're getting ready to pour the slab foundation on it. We'll take a flyover now of the lofts. As you can see, building 1 is progressing very, very quickly. Building 2 has 3 stories now. Building 3 has got the first floor almost done. The slab is done on building 4. And they're getting ready to pour the slab on building 5. And this commercial building right here, well, they're doing a lot of groundwork, so it won't be too much longer until something starts coming out of the ground. I'll go back the other way now for another quick look at the lofts. Next up is a very controversial area on Powell Road, just north of Shooter's World. This is where Citizens First Bank is building a new office. But up ahead, you can see a cleared area. This used to be about 5 acres of trees. This is very unusual for the villages to clear cut like this. I took a walk in it. It didn't look that bad, but it's not my money, it's theirs. It's still very unusual to see the villages clear cut like this. This is the south side of the village of St. James. This is another example, unfortunately, is if you don't own the property, you don't really have a say what's going in. There's going to be a Publix and a 3-story assisted living facility here. I feel for these neighbors, but again, if the realtor told you something, they probably didn't know what they were saying, or they were lying to you, one of the two. This is the Beaumont development, another area that abuts the villages. These folks have no say in what goes on here, unfortunately, also. A little bit of progress has been made, but not a whole lot. Typical of this development, it's been very, very slow moving. Another area area of controversy once again, where homes butt up to property that's not owned by the villages. This 40 acres of land here is up for sale, and apparently over the weekend they had a rather noisy mini concert here, and it upset a lot of the people in McClure. My understanding is some people think they're trying to force the villages to buy this property. I don't think the villages will jump. That wouldn't be characteristic of the way they do business, at least not that I've observed over the last 5 years. They've pretty much worked their way around this place, and it really doesn't matter to them anymore. Besides, they want $300,000 an acre for this land? I don't think so. I'm going to circle around Monarch Grove now. I thought I would do it a little bit differently this week with a little different angle. Turns out it was a lot harder than I had originally expected. Here's something new and interesting. Look at the size of these backyards on these patio villas. I have never seen a patio villa with this big of a backyard. You could have a good-sized dog, or maybe even put a pool back there. That would be different for patio villas. I want to apologize. The video gets a little bit jerky because I'm moving this sideways instead of the normal straight flight, so it's a little more difficult to control. And at the higher speeds, any adjustments take and look pretty shaky. Again, sorry about that, but it's still a different view and it looks pretty interesting. This is one of the many green space areas that they're maintaining. Again, something different for this section of the villages as compared to the rest of them. McClure is really exploding. I can't believe how fast the houses are coming up here. This is traveling along Reagan Road, and now I'll be turning back down Corbin Trail. If you're one of the residents that's lucky enough to be building in this area, and you're interested in a video build book, please go to my website, goldwingnut.com, and take a look at some of our offerings. We do some video work where we'll come out every week and film your house as it's being built and send you the video. We'll go up Corbin Trail looking at the eastern part of Monarch Grove, and then the Riverbend Recreation Center and the southern part of the Isle of Linden. This is the Swallowtail Recreation Area. And now we're coming up on the Riverbend Recreation Area with all its amenities. And of course the very distinctive Linden Isle. Up next is the southern part of the village of Linden and the northern part of Monarch Grove. Another area of abundant green space in the middle of the villages. This is the northern part of Monarch Grove looking south on Corbin Trail. We'll round the corner onto Reagan Road and look north on this section of Monarch Grove. This is Flint Loop we're looking at. We'll turn around real quick and look at the village of Linden once again. We'll take a long trip around the outside of Linden Isle, and then we'll go around the eastern part of the village of Linden. This is looking south on the north side of the Isle of Linden. Now we're looking east while traveling southward. There aren't a lot of lots left on the Isle of Linden, and the few that are left look like pretty choice ones. I can foresee a major traffic jam on this little bridge when happy hour rolls around. This is another huge lot on the corner. Here we're looking west and moving northward. This is Kendra and Rich. They stopped by and said hello, one of the many people I met yesterday while out flying the drone. This cleared area is two very large premium lots at the north end of the eastern side of the village of Linden. Here also there are very few lots left. This is flying over the top of the Rupert Dog Park. We'll turn here and look north on this section of the village of Linden as we pass over the top of the Riverbend Rec Center. As I said earlier, flying sideways is a little more difficult and makes for some jerky video. I've not read anything on any of the social media websites about the turnpike noise level in the village of Linden. I'd be interested to hear from some folks that live there if they're experiencing any traffic noises lately. I'll fly along Marsh Bend Trail and take a look at the southern section of the village of Marsh Bend. This is the brick-paved Boudreaux Circle. This is the area dominated by DeMarco Drive and Sebald Street. Looking south now, this is Samuel Villas, and this is the north end of Finney Way. This is Kate Villas. This main road here is Thornburg Trail with Ryan Villas off in the distance. We'll continue on just a little farther and we'll get to Dunham Drive. The houses here on Dunham Drive are springing up very quickly now. Now we'll take a trip around the northern portion of Marsh Bend and then take a quick look at the Lowlands Golf Course. We'll also take a quick peek at some of the newer areas being developed that should be opening up very soon. Here we're looking north. We just left the area where Edna's is at. This is the 9th hole of the Lowlands Golf Course. We're looking west now. I'm traveling over the 7th and 8th hole now of the Lowlands Golf Course. We'll circle around and take a look at the 2nd hole. It's a par 4 of the Lowlands Golf Course. All this water next to the tee boxes is definitely a head game, and it's going to definitely screw me up teeing off. Okay, that's my new excuse for today for my poor golf game. This is looking south with the Cattail Recreation Area to our left. I'm backing up and now we're looking west, and we'll rotate around and look to our north as we travel over to the 3rd and the 6th hole of the Lowlands Golf Course. The 4th and 5th hole are on the other side of the power lines. Here's another area just beyond the no trespassing signs that'll open up soon. This was the DeSoto nonprofit group. We gave a brief demonstration and a quick talk on drones. That's Vern, my business partner, and myself hiding in the back. That wraps up this video for the week. Thank you for taking the time to watch it. It was a little longer than usual, sorry about that, but there was a lot of stuff to cover, and the different flight path made for a longer trip. Please subscribe to my YouTube page, and don't forget it's goldwingnut.com if you have any aerial photography needs. Thank you.